Hey everyone. Welcome to the VGBees podcast. This is episode 53. I'm one of your hosts, John Warren. With me is my forever co-host, Nikki Grayson. Nikki Grayson not quite here. Nikki Grayson at the official VGBees mixer that is happening right now in Los Angeles, California, Angel City Brewing. Right now, you're looking live. If you're on YouTube, you're looking live. You can mostly see me, but you can also see a little window where Nikki usually would be. And this time it's at a brewery. You cannot hear anything because no one's there, but that's a John station. So if anyone decides that they want to come over and be part of the show, they can. Do I expect this to be a high volume area? Not really, to be totally honest, because you'll get to see very quickly. They can't hear me very well. And their sound is also very bad. So I'm making a big problem for Jordan, our producer. So this is going to be kind of a weird one, a solo one for the most part. I'll be talking to myself about some stray thoughts and some things that are happening this week at Summer Game Fest. And we just saw the Sony State of Play. That was yesterday. That was very interesting. The longer I think about it, the more interesting I think it was. I've got some stray thoughts about Nightreign I want to talk about. I've got I don't know, just thoughts about this upcoming weekend. But first I will talk about the last 20 minutes of last week's episode, talking a lot about traffic laws and safety, all that stuff. Oh, Nikki's coming back. Hello.
Audio. Hello?
Audio. Hi.
Hey, I can hear you.
We are recording now.
Oh, hey, what's up? Hey, John.
Hey, what's up? How's it going?
I'm all right.
How are you?
I'm good.
Do you want to hold up the generator that you're using to
yeah,
power the
for
setup
sure.
again? Mm-hmm. There we go. Jackery.
You think Jordan's gonna be mad that I turned on all the audio processing shit?
I literally 2 seconds before you walked up said
Really?
Jordan's gonna be really mad about this episode. Just generally
you think he's
speaking.
gonna be more about this or about the Cheesecake Factory? Probably this one, right?
Probably this one. I think this one's probably gonna be worse.
This one.
Yeah,
so should I turn it off?
I don't know.
I think I should turn it off. He's got more expensive, better shit.
Oh.
Is it worse? So it's worse?
It's a lot worse.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Okay, I turned it back on.
I think at least for the video, we don't. Yeah, we're now we're almost in a 50-50 state in terms of who listens and who watches. Sure. And I'm like, now the video version will be very sick if we do it that way. So, hey, tell me real quick just about your experience with all the Nintendo Switches today.
Great question. Haven't opened mine or touched it. I don't know what it's like at all. If you told me when I was even 24 years old that a Nintendo console would come out and I would look at it and say, I'm all right about this.
It's kind of strange. Yeah. It's kind of weird.
It's sitting on my coffee table.
Yeah. And you also got the Walmart experience was crazy because I got a text message this morning that says it's on its way, and then literally a minute later, it says it's been delivered, and with a photo of your front door and the Switch in a bag that's about as far away
from the door as possible. Yeah, I can see. I sat up and I woke up and I was like, I could see it out of my door or out of my window, and I was like, "What's that?" And I picked up my phone and you were like, "The Switch is here." And I said, "Oh," and then I pulled it inside, threw it on the ground, and then laid back in bed for another 3 hours.
I was like, I'm not even going to send Nikki a text when it gets there, but then I saw the photo and I was like,
"That's going to get stolen. That's going to get stolen immediately." They said, "How do we set this up to be stolen?"
It was pretty strange.
Okay, I'm going to.
Whenever you need to make rounds,
no, I'm going to go figure out where food is my next step.
Okay, thank you. That's great.
And then I'm going to tell people that you're over here. But I will tell them that we are recording.
We are recording.
I will tell them that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
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 Goodbye.
Okay. Yeah. So the reason I am here and not in Los Angeles is because the next morning after we recorded last week's episode, which was a lot of fun, I got into a car accident, a really bad one, and broke my. I've been saying I broke my ankle, but really I broke my tibia and fibula, which are the two bones in your lower leg, and it was just right above the ankle, which is, according to my doctor, one of the worst places you can break your leg. So that stinks. I have been in a splint for 6 days, and maybe I'll share. I did share in the Discord, if you're in the Discord in the Hive section, photos of the accident. So it's pretty crazy that I wasn't more injured because the front of my car completely smashed. All the airbags went off. It was really scary. Never been in any situation like that in my life. And yeah, it was weird. EMTs had to pull me from the car. I went to the hospital. They did CTs and X-rays and all that stuff. And pretty much everyone who has looked at the accident and all that stuff has been pretty relieved that I wasn't killed. So feeling happy that I'm not dead. I'm in a very frustrating situation where I'm having to get a few opinions on the surgery I'm going to need to repair the broken bones. Oh, Nikki's back. Hello? What the fuck? Oh! What is that?
It's a cookie.
Oh! It's cookies with the bee in the eyes. That's so cute. Thank you. Oh my gosh, that's so nice. Yeah.
That's so kind.
That's so sweet.
These are for the world, right?
That is. I know this is audio poison, but to some wonderful people just came up. Yeah, take a picture of them. That some cookies with the little fondant on it with the VGBees logo, and then one with the "If you're driving, close your eyes," which is adorable. Oh my gosh, that's so sweet. I love that so much. That's so sweet. God, that's so nice. That's incredible. God, I'm bummed I'm not there. We did pay for food, so you might see some, if you're on the YouTube version, you might see some past hors d'oeuvres. Yeah, we paid for that. Actually, you paid for that. VGBees.com/join. If you want to support us in stupid parties like this that I can't even go to because I shattered my ankle, go to VGBees.com/join. Join the Hive. We're independent media. We're having a good time. Yeah, goodness gracious. Anyway, yeah, that accident was very scary, and I'm very glad to be alive. Very glad to have insurance, and very glad to have a support system here in Dallas that has been unbelievable. I've got friends and family, and of course my spouse, and just a whole slew of people, and also my new work. I've got a new day job, which we don't talk about a whole lot, but they've been really sweet as well. So. And everyone in the Discord who knows about it's already been asking questions and giving me well wishes, and I certainly appreciate everyone's kindness and support during this time. I will try not to make this such a big deal. We don't have to talk about it all the time. Well, I'll have surgery next week, and I'll be on the mend soon enough. But yeah, that was a big, scary thing, and that's why I'm not at SGF. Right now in the view, you can, if you're watching on the YouTube version, you can see Diego Arguello. Love that guy. He's going to be writing some pieces for us on the website this weekend. And I can't wait for those. Let's talk about that state of play, though, huh? That Sony State of Play. We saw that on Wednesday afternoon, and it was actually really interesting. I think like a lot of the things we really expected to see were there, and a Ghost of Yote update and Silent Hill F trailer. I'm like maybe less, super psyched about those things. I think Silent Hill F is a really interesting entry into that game. We have a Diego Arguello approaching. Hi, Diego. Hi. Oh, wait. Oh, I can't unmute. Oh, they choose to. I can't. Nikki muted. I can't unmute Nikki. You're gonna have to tell Nikki that Nikki muted.
Oh, how about now?
There we go. Now I can do it. Thank you so much.
I brought Diego with me.
Hi, Diego.
Hello.
Hola. Hola, Diego.
Hola.
How are you?
Good. How are you? Are you recording fine?
Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah.
Can I tell you my first reaction after the incident?
Yeah,
I win. At least I'm not the only one with a semi-permanent limp now.
I mean, it's true. It's totally true. It's gonna be very permanent now.
So, pro tip, what's helped me is I got a pair of those like platform Vans on today. Good shock absorption if one leg is like a little higher than the other.
That's good to know.
Yeah,
That's
pro tip for me to you, but love you.
Thank you. Love you. Appreciate it. Bye, Diego.
Should I
I'll
bring
see
you
later.
like a symbolic plate later? Would that be funny? You pretend that you're eating.
Actually, yeah. Show me one of each. If you could get one of each, I'd love to see it. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks. All right. So that was Taylor Hicklin. Thanks, Taylor. And also Diego Arguello. Wow. Special guests. Sound is bad at that place. They can barely hear me unless I'm talking directly into Nikki's ear. Anyway, this is a total poison. Gonna have to send Jordo some torchies this weekend to make up for it. But state of play, yeah. Silent Hill F, long trailer there. We got to see a lot of combat, which I thought was a really interesting choice. Not a game where the moment-to-moment combat, I think, is super important to kind of the overall vibes of that game. I think people are really interested in enemy design, which, like, there was a lot of cool stuff there. I want to be clear, a lot of the articulated dolls that are contorted and all that stuff, some not super surprising stuff. But yeah, like, if you're into those Silent Hill games, it's one of those. Konami actually had like an interesting showing, a lot of stuff, including a new trailer for Metal Gear Solid Delta, which I'm excited about. I think Metal Gear Solid 3 is the best of them. And if it's a faithful remake that just looks like $1 million, like, I can't really fault it for that. I think that's kind of as much as I want a remake to be. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. There are a couple of notes I had. Started with Luminous Arise, or Lumines, as I like to call it. It's the same folks from Tetris Effect. So if you love Tetris Effect, if you love the original Luminous games, there's a lot to like here. That's never been something I've looked really forward to. Nikki, I know, is super excited about it. And it's probably something I'll check out if it gets on the monthly almost like Games with Gold, but the featured games on PlayStation Plus. That stuff. Oop, I just messed up my microphone. We saw an updated trailer for Pragmata, which was that Capcom game that got teased a really, really, really long time ago. It was supposed to come out in 2022, then it was delayed to 2023, then we just kind of didn't hear about it for a long time, and then it is now set to come out next year in 2026. Dude in big armor, kind of a dad figure to psychic little girl. Mileage may vary on some of those things. We had Lotus on the watch along, and Lotus is like, listen, I'm a big fan of like a psychic little girl with psychic powers trope. We may not have that many of those in games, so this is one of those, but it is still a dad game. Oh, there's Jesse. Hold on.
What's John doing?
Jesse. Hi. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Hi. Good. I'm sorry no one can hear me.
I can hear you. I got you.
We'll make do. Okay, good. All right. Jesse Vitelli, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me. Well, first time caller.
You're welcome.
Long time listener. That's what they say, right?
Yeah, that's what they say. How was your travel to Los Angeles?
It was great. I had the whole row to myself. Yes.
Love that.
Not a single other person in my row, and the flight attendants told people that they couldn't sit in my row. And so I fought them off. It's the one time capitalism worked for me.
And you know what? Like whenever I think it should work for, that's my prayer for all of us is I want capitalism to work for us this year. That's what I want. Did you get a Switch too?
Okay, so I got some bad news about the Switch 2. So I ordered it from Walmart.com.
Hi, Moises.
Which I legally, I believe I'm only allowed to say nice things about. So I love Walmart. However, they told me that it would arrive tomorrow, and I'm having it shipped to LA to my friend Sean's house. Sean leaves to go to London on Saturday, so we have a 2-day window for this thing to show up. I get an email today that it's shipped, and it will be arriving on Wednesday, June 11th.
No,
so I have to call them tomorrow and see if I can redirect it to New York. Or a Switch is just going to be sitting outside Sean's house for 11 days, but more like 6 hours because someone's going to take it. Did you get a Switch too?
God. Well, yeah, it showed up at Nikki's porch at 6 a.m. this morning.
So it's at Nikki's place. So I can
Nikki's
steal
place. Well, actually, no. Actually, Nikki put it in the mail already to send to me, which I'm very grateful for. But I was telling Nikki, I got the photo in my email, and it's like 5 fucking feet away from Nikki's door. Like it's just like basically sitting on the steps. And I'm like, this is primo steal territory, but no one stole it.
That's how my PS5 was delivered. Like no box, nothing. It was just out in the open, just in my apartment lobby.
That's so crazy. I don't get that. Hey, what did you watch the State of Play yesterday? What did you like from it?
The State of Play was sick. It had a lot of good stuff in it. There's a Marvel fighting game, which is just like the coolest thing I've ever seen. Arc System Works continues to just make magic. But Luminous, I don't know how you say that game.
I say Lumines, but I know it's Luminous.
I'm going to go with Lumines. That's the official one. I love Enhance. So opening with Lumines, aces. What was your favorite thing?
It's good shit. It's part of the Marvel fighting game. I was really excited about that. I was surprised. I don't know what 4x4 tag fighting is going to be like, but I'm willing to try.
You're going to have to get good with 4 characters.
I'm going to have to get good with 4 characters. It was crazy. I think that the angriest I was for sure was the Final Fantasy Tactics, like, I don't know, kind of wet fart of like, we smoothed it out for you, and there's some menus. It looks bad.
And like I'm saying that with like Square Enix employees behind me. This game looks bad.
Yeah, it looks bad.
I DM'd them and I said, why does it look like that? And they wouldn't respond.
I don't understand it. We have the technology. But I don't know, Neo 3, like I like those games. I don't know. Like I think the Marvel fighting game was definitely the highlight for me, but yeah, it's kind of a weird one, but I kind of liked the State of Play. It was good.
I love PlayStation's insistence on not showing Ghost of Yotei. They just refuse. I know. They're just like, we're going to show it. Nah, next month, actually. Oh, you want the release date? Here's a tweet. They just don't want to show that game. And I feel terrible because it's like, that game's going to sell well.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Yeah.
They just don't want to show it.
It'll do really well. Yeah. Weird, strange. Well, you can stay as long as you want, but I don't want you to feel like you got to stay. You can enjoy yourself and do the party.
This is our catch-up set.
Okay. This is our catch. Oh, wait.
Oh, you muted me. Is that?
I accidentally muted you.
Is that your way of telling me I need to go? Are you kicking me out?
No, I just didn't know the enter button muted, and I accidentally hit it with my palm. All right, so what are you looking forward to this weekend? Anything?
A lot of stuff I can't talk about.
Yeah.
But that being said,
at least.
And maybe this is the cop-out answer, it is seeing everybody. It's the one time a year I get to see everybody. Like, and not just like, PAX is great, we get to see some folks. You know, GDC is another thing, you get to see some folks. This is the one time where you feel like you get to see like everyone or almost everyone.
A lot of people. Right.
And so it's honestly the people. It's why we do this. It's the reminder of why we do this. So
yeah.
That's my cop-out answer.
Yeah, no, it's not a cop-out answer. I think it's a good answer. I think it's definitely why I was looking forward to being there. Yeah. But hey, yeah, I was looking forward to it too. It last year was a really good time, and hopefully we'll all be back there next year.
Yeah, I hope so.
For Jeff's big show.
How you feeling? You doing all right?
Yeah. I had a surgical consult today that like went okay. Like the options they gave me were like pretty depressing. It was just like, do you want like 3 months of really bad recovery, or do you want to never move your ankle again? And I'm like,
Oh,
those feel like bad choices, like both of them. So I'm getting a second opinion early next week, and we'll see. I don't know. It's crazy.
yeah. Well, fingers crossed.
Thank you. The pills help. The pills help.
Pills help.
Mm-hmm. The pills definitely help.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna get to going. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Make your rounds.
I'm gonna make the rounds. I got a lot. I gotta go schmooze. But I'll be back before the end of the night.
We'll have you on a real episode.
Yeah,
too,
I would.
soon,
Yeah, absolutely.
please.
Let's do it. Anytime you want, you let me know. I'm free. I'll make it the time.
I can't wait.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me. Good night.
All right, dude. Bye. That was just. Oh, here's Ken Shepard. There's Ken. It's Ken.
I literally cannot hear. Hold on. Okay, now I can hear you.
Yeah, you gotta get real close because the audio is so bad.
Well, this is a fun workaround, I suppose.
I know it's kind of a shit show, but Ken, it's really good to see your face.
Yeah.
Hello.
How's your foot?
Bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's in a few different pieces. They don't quite know how to fix it. So,
Well,
but like I told Jesse, the pills are helping.
that's good.
The pills are helping. Did you get a Switch? Yours is in.
It's arriving like
It's in
on the
New York.
10th, and so I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fucking be there for that. So, granted, I don't know when I would have played it anyway. I would have just wanted to have it just for like the sake of having it.
That's like kind of everyone's. I feel like half of our media circle is just like, I'll get it when I get it. Like I don't know.
What am I gonna do? Play Cyberpunk again? Probably.
We know that's what you're doing. All right, give me a tight 2 minutes on the Last of Us TV show, please.
The second season is very bad. It's made by people who think that their audience are children that need to be handheld for everything they ever need to comprehend, and subtext is for cowards. I think Craig Mazin might have a problem with women, and like a weird, like incessant need to justify everything a man does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I you know what? I watched about half the season, but really I lived through most of it through your pieces on Kotaku.com.
Yeah.
So go back and read those, please.
Yeah. He's apparently going to be at IGN Live, and so I was like, I should go and get a photo with him.
You should.
I don't know if he knew who I was, but if he knew who I was and was like a good sport about it, it'd be very funny.
It'd be very funny. Yeah, it would. It'd be good. Who knows? What did you like about the State of Play? Did you watch that yesterday?
The Marvel, that's like what life worth living shit. Art system works. You just get blank checks to do whatever they want. And like I fell off Rivals pretty hard, so like I need a Marvel game to like satiate my like Marvel feelings that I get about every 6 months when a movie comes out.
Totally, yeah.
So that's gonna be good.
Loved it. Yeah. I was a big fan of that too. I was super surprised. We're kind of relieved that Capcom is far away from it in a lot of ways. Like, just try something new.
Yeah. I gathered like a lot of people, they're in mourning of like, because they assume that Marvel vs. Capcom's probably done, and they might be right. Who's to say?
They might be right. I
didn't think Infinite was like kill a franchise bad, but here we are. I just realized you're recording. Is this going? Is this streaming?
It's not streaming. No.
I don't think I said anything untoward, but like it occurred to me that I might have.
No. If you say anything that you're like, oh my god, just tell me. We'll edit it out. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
I don't think I've said anything bad yet. Except Craig Mazin fight me.
That's okay.
You might want to edit that out.
Yeah.
When I catch you.
Normandy FM. Tell me about y'all are hitting overdrive with that. Right?
Yeah. So life has been a bitch for about 2 years.
Yes.
Between the both of us.
Yes.
So the Nier season has taken longer than it ever should have. And so I finally told Eric, I was like, hey, what if we just marathoned the rest of this season over the course of like 4 weeks and then just had it scheduled out for several months? And then we take another month like break, and then we start recording the Veilguard season. And then so like we're always like 10 weeks ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I wanna be on the Veilguard, at least one of those. So.
Do you have a character or topic you want to talk about?
I didn't like it very much.
Well, I mean, that's one thing is like, I don't think a lot of people realize that we want people that don't like the games we're talking about. And so I have to clarify that, like, hey, if you're not a fan, I want to compare. I want you to come and like rant about it. So if you got something you don't like,
I think for me, it's just like quest design, level layout, like all this stuff is like Avowed felt like such a game that I know was deconstructed and reconstructed multiple times, but it didn't feel like that to me. Veilguard very much felt like that to me. It felt very reconstructed, and there are still some really good bones there and sensibilities that BioWare has that they've always had. But yeah, I don't know. Like some of those characters are good. Yeah, we can. I
still think it's the best cast that they've ever done in those games. To clarify, like holistically, the best cast, not like like Dorian, Solus, like they're higher up on the tier list, but like as a collective unit. That they're someone.
I think I could probably speak the most passionately about the path we went from Solus being the most interesting villain maybe BioWare has ever kind of constructed to a little bit of an afterthought. Very much a prominent figure still, but a little bit of also simultaneously both. I think is an interesting place for that character to land.
They literally put him in a box and was like, "We'll come back to you later."
It's kind of weird, and it's like y'all really had something.
They don't want people to be scared off by a 10-year-old villain of a game they didn't play all that time ago.
I know.
So
I know.
I still think the finale of that game, though, pretty incredible. Pretty incredible shit.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right. Well, you can stay as long as you want, but I don't want you to feel like you gotta stay here. So if you want to make rounds.
I have been in transit for like 12 hours, and something I've developed since moving to New York City is like the most sensitive motion sickness I've ever had to deal with in my life.
Oh.
Because like every time I'm in a car so infrequently that it's like shock to the system.
Yeah.
And so I puked this morning on the way to the airport. So I gotta probably eat something. So
eat something.
I'll be back later.
Okay. All right. Good to see you. That was Ken Shepard. Everyone, clap for Ken Shepard, former colleague Ken Shepard. God, I was thinking the other day about just like everyone that worked at Fanbyte, and just it's like sometimes I'll run down the roster in my head, and then I'll realize an hour later that I forgot someone. It's someone different almost every time. And it's always someone like that is still fucking incredible. You know what I mean? It's just like, God, we were so stacked. But Ken Shepard, go read Ken's great stuff over at Kotaku.com. That website's still alive and kicking and doing some cool stuff, even though they get handcuffed to the whims of Jim Spanfeller and all of his bullshit. Ken's stuff on the last season 2 is really good. Oh, Nikki getting the headphones out. Nikki now can hear.
I get the luxury of good audio.
Yeah, good audio. No one else.
No.
Yeah, everyone's having to just kind of put their ear, which is kind of cute.
I think it's good. Charming. I think it's good. How's it been? The food finally showed up.
Yeah. Is it any good?
Bite test engaged. It's all right.
This one's got it's all right. Yeah, it's okay. Sure. This episode's got everything. Yeah. It's got mouth sounds. It's got like incredibly bad room tone. I didn't even give Jordan a warning. I'm gonna have to send him a text in the middle of this episode. Like, I've done something terrible to you.
I'm about to fuck you.
I'm about to make your life so sad for about a day. That's okay. But it's good. I've talked to Jesse. I talked to Ken. Got to ask Ken about Last of Us season 2, which was funny.
Huge.
A tight 2 minutes on how bad that show is.
That's great.
Yeah, it's been good. How's the venue?
It's good. Good turnout, John.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did it. Good.
The correct amount of food and the correct number of people.
All right. Nailed it.
That's
good.
huge.
Good. Yeah, that's huge. Yeah.
And it's early.
Definitely
it's only
worried
7.
about that. It's early.
The world is our oyster. 700 more
oyster.
people could show up in the next 25 minutes, Anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
And I only think like 4 people who don't go here have stolen the food. Which is a pretty good ratio, which I respect. No,
yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I respect it.
We had a couple of people go outside because that's where they thought it was, because that's where I said it was.
Well, you know what?
That's where they told us.
They said it was. Yeah, that's where they also said it was.
So they stole food from USC before they stole our food.
That's perfect. Amazing.
So that's good. Everybody wins. Okay. Yeah. Well, I leave you be.
All right. Yeah, no. So let's get back to it. There is a game called Tides of Tomorrow, which lots of ocean. It's kind of a weird asynchronous multiplayer game that I'm pretty fascinated by. I don't really know how that works. Like it made me think maybe a little bit of Deathloop in a way. But a little bit confusing. A lot of people who played the original Brink saw this trailer and were like, oh, they're making Brink 2, which longtime fans of the show and of Nikki and I would remember that Brink 2 is just one of those things that Nikki is kind of obsessed with. So very interested to know the lineage there and why people think it is a oh wait, there we go. Yeah, very interested to kind of know. I don't know why I was in that edit screen for so long. Sorry, YouTube people, for showing you something annoying that entire time. Maybe the funniest, I'll say, thing that we got was a really, I think, from a content mechanics perspective, a really fun trailer for a first-person thief game in VR. And the only reason I think it was really funny is that I think everyone would be really psyched for an updated Thief game. The ceiling on a VR Thief game for PSVR 2 is so low. So I just kind of feel like every single time we see something like this, I'm like, well, I don't know. What are the economics here? Just endlessly fascinated by VR in the year of our Lord 2025. But maybe the funniest part is that it's an Eidos Montreal game, but also Vertigo Games. And I just love the idea of Vertigo Games making a VR game where you're moving around, which I think is incredible. So yeah, we talked briefly in a couple of segments. Oh, hold on.
Hi. Can I get a cheeseburger, Diet Coke?
It's a bacon, cheese, and egg.
Yeah,
okay, according to Andrew Cuomo. I'll have a bacon, cheese, and egg sandwich. I want a venti cafe mocha, no foam, oat milk, please. And a dash of honey.
Yeah.
What would Andrew Cuomo do if he walked into a bodega?
Combust into flames? Maybe? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what I want, like Andrew Cuomo to do. Just gonna try and manifest that real quick. Everyone, if anybody in New York is hearing this, we can still don't rank Cuomo, okay? Zoran Mamdani, please.
Add something to the bottom of the tier maker that says "Do not rank."
Exactly.
DNR.
The same way that a billion people fucking wrote in Harambe that one year. That's what we're fucking doing. But no Cuomo.
When y'all vote in New York, you use tier maker systems?
Yeah, a little bit.
That's crazy. In Texas, we go by the mandate of God.
I might prefer that to what's currently happening.
You really don't.
I mean, listen, my system is not currently making sure
Have you seen
that
what's
Andrew
happening
Cuomo.
in Texas lately?
Okay, we're not in a competition of whose city is worse.
I'm pretty sure 3 things that happened in the last 2 weeks count as bold judgments from Revelations. Like, that's like, we've been seeing some bad shit there.
Take it away. Tell me more about Texas.
They banned all THC, like even hemp. They were like, get hemp out of here. So we're just going to lose like $1 billion in farming for no reason. Because you can smoke the hemp.
It's time to hit the bricks.
I'm being told that I need to hit the bricks and abandon Texas.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. But listen, we gotta fix it. You can't fix it if you're not here.
I mean, there are ways to fix it. Allegedly.
That's true.
Hey, John. So,
allegedly.
So, John, what the fuck is going on here? Is this live right now?
It's not live. We are recording it. So if you do say anything you don't want,
okay,
maybe cut that
just let us know.
Cut everything that Eric said. Leave me in completely.
You said it. You said allegedly.
Yeah. We couched it. You know.
Can you edit a Luigi hat onto me in this part? Yo, I played Mario Kart.
We'll have it lower down.
Luigi gets insane hats in Mario Kart.
Okay. Does Luigi in Mario Kart World like blow the heads off of people randomly on the street or what?
He red shelled me from behind.
Oh, okay, that's one in the same place. Did the red shell say denied something delayed the pose?
Yeah. He did the thing.
Did he?
Luigi, an ally.
Also, Luigi
in Minecraft.
Luigi gets outfits and Pokey doesn't.
What the fuck is going on in this game?
Like,
really?
Why can't Pokey get a hat?
I don't know.
He's a big cactus.
Pokey deserves it. Yes. Everyone deserves a hat. You know who deserves a hat? The cow. The cow deserves a hat. I want a cow-shaped hat on the cow. Cow-shaped hat. Yes.
Like a whole cow?
Okay, maybe we just do like a visor
or like
a visor type deal on it. Yeah. Yeah.
Whole cow.
Also, I want alternative cow costumes for the entire cast.
I want the Packers cheese head for the cow. I think that would go crazy.
See, I hate the Packers, but I do like the idea of the cheese head.
It would go.
The cheese head admittedly goes hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Some might say it's the best.
Let's not.
Headwear, the best headwear in the NFL.
But we're not saying that.
They're always saying this. We got the best head in the NFL.
And on that note, I'm gonna grab a drink. But I love you, John.
Steelers, baby. Aaron
Rodgers. Thank you.
Here for attention.
Thanks, y'all. Aaron Rodgers, baby.
We miss you, John.
Thanks for dropping by. Thank
you.
you.
Hopefully we see you soon.
Thank you. What?
The finger heart. It's like a
finger heart. Oh,
that does look right.
Okay.
All
right.
This.
It looks like I'm about to snap.
Okay.
Tilt your fingers in such a way up and down.
Oh.
From behind.
Okay.
I just crossed
put your pointer up like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then just sway it
almost like you're about to snap.
Wait.
There you go. Yeah.
What the? All right, there we go. All right, it works.
Love you.
Bye. Good to see y'all. Moises Tavares and Eric Van Allen. Wow. Thanks, y'all. That was really fun. Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. Arc System Works. They make Guilty Gear, Blaze Blue, the new Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Fighter Z. 4-on-4 Marvel game. No Capcom. Nothing outside of Marvel, it seems like. All the voice acting that it showed was in Japanese, which I fucking loved. I hope they don't change that. I hope they just kind of stick to that. I think it's really, really clean. My only gripe is that I don't love some of the character designs, but we did see, and I'll try to name them off by memory. Captain America, a little bit over-designed. Iron Man, over-designed, but in a charming way. Spider-Man, over-designed in an uncharming way. Ghost Rider, like him showing up in games. Kamala Khan, which was great. Ms. Marvel. Very exciting. Doctor Doom, looking very Doctor Doomy, traditional. Storm, looking amazing. And then Star-Lord. And we got all those characters showing off. I don't know what kind of roster this is going to be, if they're just going to have like a ton of Marvel people, or if it'll be a relatively small size, so you're just kind of like getting good with like, a very, very, very a large part of a small roster. Like, I don't know. We'll see what it turns into, but it looks really cool. It scratches an itch that looks a lot like Marvel versus Capcom, honestly, but it's got some of that Arc System Works flair that I think everyone is pretty hype about. And this was just a big surprise. Like, this was just one of those things it's rare that I think a lot of our circle can be surprised. And I certainly was. A lot of people were, and that game looks great. It's the next game I'm going to say I'm going to get really good at and then drop off really fast, but like, I'm still going to have a blast with that, I think. So very excited. I think maybe something that was a little unexpected, because I think a lot of us talking ahead of SGF were thinking that this was still a few months away from being revealed, but we did see the first footage of the new IOI, the makers of Hitman, James Bond game, and it's 007 First. Why can't I remember the name of it? First Light. 007 First Light. And it is an origin story that no one has asked for James Bond. It's one of the, I think, worst decisions you can make as a major license holder is to go make an origin story for this thing. It's something I just really don't care much about. But it's a young James Bond. And as we're talking about when we watched it over on twitch.tv/VGBees, a PG-13 Hitman, I don't know. A PG-13 Hitman that has to take its own license pretty seriously makes me worry a little bit about some of the sandbox elements that make IOI games so potent and memorable and unforgettable. However, if any team could pull this off, I was also saying on that same stream, like, GoldenEye gets talked about in local multiplayer circles. It's one of the first major local multiplayer games that I think really hit a zeitgeist, right? Everybody doing couch, playing deathmatch and all that stuff. But that game was also really interesting in its mission design and structure, and just being these kind of sandboxy levels where you're checking off increasingly complex things, and most of them are optional, but they'll get you rewards if you get them all. And that's just IOI. That's just Hitman. That's just their bread and butter. Like, you have these very clear directives in standard Hitman missions, but you have all this like amazing secondary stuff that you can do and experiment with, and I think that's going to be where that game really shines. From a story perspective, it looks very rote. The new Bond does not look like any of the actors that we were talking about on our bonus predictions podcast, which you can go listen to now on the premium feed of vgbees.com/join. But yeah, like, even if it doesn't, even if that part of it doesn't look that interesting, I am still very interested in this game, interested in whatever IOI is doing. I don't even play that much Hitman, but I do play enough of those games, and I watch enough of them, certainly with players I really admire, that I'm just ready. I'm ready for whatever they do next, which is exciting. I still am skeptical of their ability to deliver on a licensed product that is going to be restrictive. But yeah, Astrobot is also getting some free levels that I think brings the total up to like 90 different planets and levels that you can play in that game. more Astrobots, a good thing. Yote is going to be in the game as well as part of an update. Being able to collect and put on your little cool hub planet, where you do all the fun little group activities. Astrobot's great. Like, what a game, right? I still go back and dip into that every once in a while and try to get high scores. And certainly it's one of those games that I think people will be talking about for a very long time. And I wonder how long they'll be updating. Like, I think it'll be interesting to see how many of these incremental small level updates that we get. And then when those start to dry up, we could probably speculate.
Oh, I have Taylor. Your commemorative play it.
Hi. Oh, all right. Hello. Wow. It's a slider.
The bratwurst is fine, so I didn't get it. The slider's good. Okay. Barbecue pulled pork slider good. Also, they took pity on me at the bar. Coke is free. Refills also free. I tipped because but
yeah, that's good. Thanks.
But it's popping over here, as I'm sure you can see a little bit.
Yeah, good turnout. I'm excited.
Have both Kenneth and Diego stop by to see you at this point? Good.
They have. Yep. I'm good. It was good to see everyone. Yeah. I saw Moises and Sean. What the fuck am I talking about? Eric Van Allen. Sean. Where did I get Sean? But it's been great to see everyone.
Yeah. Tom found another gay furry to corner, so they've been talking the entire time. It's been great.
That's awesome. That's perfect.
But yeah, now you know. Barbecue pulled pork.
That's all you need. That's all you need. Thank you so much for showing me the food.
Of course. Love you, John.
Love you. Thanks, Taylor. Part of the conversation about the Sony fighting game, the Marvel fighting game that's coming out, is that they're making a fight stick, which is kind of wild, actually. So it is wireless, which threw up a bunch of red flags to a lot of fighting game fans in our chat, at least, because like even that micro latency for wireless is something that like pros really probably won't use. But still, some pieces came out today about like, actually they've thought pretty hard about these things. I cannot even remotely begin to talk to you about them because I'm not like a fighting stick person, or even like a super hardcore fighting game person. So not the right person. Chris Person, the right person is Chris Person over at Aftermath. He had some thoughts about it over on Blue Sky, and I think he wrote actually a piece about it too. So go check those out if you want like in-depth details about why people might be actually more excited about that than expected. But in the fighting game vein as well, we did get the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. Of course, that is with a K. It's going to have so many games from it. It's got like basically all the old school games and like every version of them, including like Game Boy Color, it looked like, so just like, and a bunch of behind the scenes stuff that I think is going to be really exciting. It looks like a really comprehensive package, which I love. I'm not the biggest fan of Mortal Kombat games. I have a lot of nostalgia for them, but they were never my favorites. But I will say that when you put together something that feels so loving at the outset, like we saw from this trailer, that's like a day one kind of purchase for me to just dive into stuff like that. I really like that. So I think that was a really kind of heartwarming surprise. There's a demo out for this game already on Steam, I believe, but Cairn now has a release date and an upcoming demo on PS5. The game comes out in November, on November 5th, which is exciting. If you haven't seen it, it's a rock climbing game that is extremely like intensive and physics based, and you have to move all your limbs like independent and actually think about like all the tools that you're using. So it's definitely a bit more mechanically in depth than some of the other climbing games like Jusant, which came out last year. But Karen looks awfully good. I am very excited about that. We got an updated trailer for Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, which is the 2D Ninja Gaiden update that looks really fluid and gorgeous and mechanically dense, and that comes out at the end of July, so we don't have a whole lot of time before we will be playing that game. So I'm very excited about that. Some games I talked through. I remember kind of talking through a few games, including a new Digimon game. Digimon freaks were definitely excited about this. And honestly, like going back and watching this and paying like a lot of close attention to it, if you like Pocket Monster training kind of games, but are disillusioned with kind of how bad the Pokemon games have been over the past few years, like if you're someone like me that's disappointed in those games, I'm kind of interested in Digimon Story Time Stranger, which is kind of a surprise, but that was one of the trailers I think I most fondly glommed onto. We will talk a bit about Final Fantasy Tactics, because I think that game is really, really good. I don't think it's even the best game that's set in Ivalice. I don't think it's the best tactical role-playing game ever, but I do think it is a really, really nice feather in the cap of Square Enix, and just obviously a timeless classic, even if it's not like my personal favorite. It's getting a remake? Remaster? Sure. Called the Ivalice Chronicles Final Fantasy Tactics. It's going to have a graphically updated version that's got voice acting. Mileage varies on that, although some of the voice talent that's going to be there is very exciting. But I think what I'm so furious about is that this game doesn't look very good. The remastered quote unquote visuals look like just kind of the general bad smoothing, upscaling stuff that you see in the mobile ports. It looks bad. There's some UX updates and UI updates that I think are probably welcome. There are some little mechanical refinements that they've talked about that I think are maybe unnecessary, but like fine. You know, they're fine quality of life stuff to add. But I just don't understand. I don't understand the hype. A lot of people are really excited about this as it was being revealed, and it just struck me very much as, yet again, this is a big Square Enix game that is getting some polish, but they're going to charge you full price for something that's not very good. Nikki's back. Hi.
Hi, John.
Hi.
I can't hear what you're saying
Taylor.
at all.
It's okay.
It's on you. You solved the problem.
You're
Hi, Taylor.
Hello.
Hi, Taylor. How's it going?
It's going. I miss you.
I miss you too.
I like that. I like that I'm labeled as Nikki right now.
Yeah, we just didn't change it. Everyone's Nikki tonight.
This is a really stupid idea, and I love it.
I know.
Well,
it's really dumb.
Why this is? I would expect nothing less from the lot of you. And it's delightful, and I love it. This is a perfect holding microphone. I don't know if anyone's commented on that yet, but it's like really good to hold. It makes me feel like I should do this, like Lemmy. You know,
I was gonna say Scott Stapp.
Scott Stapp is also a good choice. I don't know. I think when I think of like I guess Lemmy's more up here. Sorry.
Yeah, he's got
the real high microphone. Yeah.
Stapp's like with arms wide open, like kind of here,
but like those chrome ones, you know, like the that's kind of where I'm. That's where my mind's at. I got to figure out if there's anyone that's good there. There's no good references. What's going on back there?
No.
Sean?
I'm sitting here at home in Dallas, just hanging out.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm gonna go buy somebody a beer and go do the thing.
Do that.
Miss you, buddy. We'll see you soon.
Do that. It's good to see you. All right, bye. Taylor Cock, everyone. Thank you, Taylor. Good Taylors at the party tonight. Now we're turned facing a different way. Now we're turning back. Thanks, Taylor. Yeah, the Final Fantasy graphics of the Tactics remaster, huge bummer for me. I just feel like it has to stop somewhere. We have to stop. We have to stop entertaining these things. You can go get an emulator so easily and put it on an unbelievable number of devices, of a cellular telephone, a Retroid Pocket, a MacBook, a PC, a Linux device, a Steam Deck, a jailbroken Nintendo Switch. It doesn't matter. You can put that game on any device. And it's so fucking good, y'all. It's still really, really, really great. And I just don't understand why we stand for this. We allow this to happen. We keep getting really hype about these bad remasters, and we spend money on them. And we completely justify their existence. But we shouldn't. I mean, listen, I also would have been mad if they had made this into an HD 2D Octopath Traveler. Like, I also would have been mad about that. So, like, for me personally, there's no winning here. But I got to thinking, and I was looking at a post that my dear friend, Cohen Enfield, posted to Blue Sky about Bloodborne specifically. And they essentially said, like, you know, every day that a Bloodborne remake or remaster is not announced is a win for them. And I totally understand what they mean. I mean, it's just like, to me, the older I get, the more inclined I am to say, this is our preserved world. And this graphical perversion you've laid over Final Fantasy Tactics and you're going to charge us money for, it's just so, I think it's vile. I think it's a crass thing. And I don't have to buy it. And you can be excited about it. But if you are excited about it, I do think you're part of a problem. And I'm not really a huge consumer rights like pervert. But I do feel like Square Enix has been kind of like public enemy number one in terms of just like creating an environment where they're allowed to phone some stuff in and charge full price for it. And it's just a bummer. Again, I think this game is great. And if this is your first time, it comes out at the end of September. If this is your first time experiencing it, I hope you really enjoy it. I think it's a really lovely game. However, hi everyone. Everyone's waving at me.
Doritos.
Oh,
you can hear the song. It was really funny. Hold on, Jordan's gonna love this part. Jordan's gonna love it. John, can you hear it?
Yeah. It's tequila.
Yeah, it's tequila, but I said Doritos.
I got it. Yeah. It's good. The worst episode we've ever produced. I don't know. What do you think? Y'all stupid. They just said tequila again. Stupid. Fucking stupid. But what do you think? You know, y'all been great in the comments. Oh, what? What's up? Hi, I can't hear you.
Hello?
There we go. Yeah, I can hear you now.
I heard about what happened. I'm sorry you couldn't be here.
Me too.
Everyone's like, who's the man on the laptop?
It's me. It's just me.
Are you doing okay?
Yeah, I'm doing okay.
Just by the way.
Yeah.
This is the funny, like, everyone like has been like, who's the man on the laptop? And it's like, he's the host.
I know. It feels so crazy, but thanks for coming.
I hope you aren't lonely.
I'm not. I have dogs. And my wife is over here, and my dogs are here.
You're getting surgery this weekend?
No, next week.
I hope you get better. I'm sorry to hear about that.
Thank you. No, it's all right. Thank you.
I love what you guys do for the community.
Thank you.
I was talking to Nikki earlier, and I'm like, wow, we need more people like this in our community. Also, congratulations on 1 year.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's really exciting.
Okay, I'm going to get off now. It was nice talking to you.
Good to talk to you. Everybody's so nice. I think, again, I can't stress this enough. I think you're part of the problem if you like these games. But sound off in the comments. We've had a lot of really nice discussion in comments. A lot of you think I'm just full of shit and have bad opinions. That's totally okay. So does everyone else in my life, and they're probably right. I just I don't get it. What are you, if you were excited about this game, if you're excited about Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles, specifically people who already played the original, what are you really excited about with this package? Because I'm just missing the because it can't be the graphics, guys. Like, that can't be it. The voice acting is great. Ben Starr is part of the cast. Love that guy. So excited that he again will be in my earballs. But I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. I wish I felt the love for this, but I feel like it's wrong again. Which is super frustrating. All right, I have got, so here, let's see. Got a couple more things. Oh, I want to talk about Nightreign. Posted something that, probably was kind of goofy on Blue Sky recently. That I feel like Elden Ring Nightreign is kind of a flop. And when I said that, immediately some people were like, "It sold 3.5 million copies." So I don't mean it that way. I think you get 3.5 million copies sold based on the name Elden Ring and based on like the goodwill of From Software, which they've like completely earned. So it's really nice to see that they've made this kind of experiment and been rewarded for it. Like, I think that makes, financially, they can now understand that they can make experiments. They can have these, asset flips. And if they turn it into something mechanically fascinating, that's really different from what they are doing and kind of riffing on some parts of what they already did. I think it's really great. So I think what they've done is great. And I love that they had the runway to experiment. And I love that it paid off financially for them. But I do think it is a flop. And I think it's a flop in this way, is that from a cultural perspective, no one's talking about this game. Not really. They're still partying up and they're getting to know it and they're trying to dive in and understand it. And like, the sickos are really enjoying it. And I'm not saying that like there aren't people out there who really, really love this, because there clearly are. There's a big chunk of that 3.5 million that are really satisfied with this game. And that's great. But this game's a flop. From Software's perspective, this game is essentially Armored Core 6, which is a game that nobody talked about basically after the first week it was out. Only like very tight circles of people really cared about this. And it's like, should they make another Armored Core game? Absolutely. Because they've earned the right to experiment with this stuff and try some stuff. But I think Nightreign is a flop in the sense that, like, I think it's a smaller sliver than they may have expected, because this is not hitting the cultural zeitgeist in any way that Elden Ring did, that Dark Souls did, certainly Bloodborne did. I think Bloodborne may have hit it the hardest in terms of lasting legacy. And I just don't know who's going to be talking about this game in 6 months.
Great news.
Hi, bud. Michael P. Hyam brought your Switch. That's incredible.
We got the Switch.
Fucking did it.
We got the Switch. It's the one everybody's been wanting.
This shit has already stopped.
That's the one. I'm happy for you. Yeah, so that was Nikki's Switch that was left under the chair at Michael Hyam's apartment, and it's been returned to them. How lovely. I'm so happy. That was so funny. I think it was, I can't remember if that was a VGBees episode or a if you're driving episode. That's like such a problem that I have. I can never remember what anything is from. But yeah, like Nikki called and Nikki's like, I've either lost this thing where it's under Michael Hyam's couch. And it was like Michael Hyam heard it and then sent us a picture of it out from under the couch. It was really good. And now it's back home with Nikki just in time for Switch 2, which is very funny. Yeah, so yeah, that's just my kind of weird take on Nightreign. I'm sure I'll get some people in the comments that are like, how can you say it's a flop if it sold 3.5 million copies? Again, I don't mean it in a traditional sense. I just mean that like FromSoft has almost earned this Valhalla level of adoration that the culture around these games really transcend, I think, the normal measure of success, right? You know, it's like I feel like The Last of Us does that. I feel like Zelda does that. I think like Mario does that to an extent. But I don't know. Like FromSoft definitely has done that, and Nightreign is not hitting that, in my view. Also, sound off if you love that game. Tell me what you love about it. I'm very interested in at some point diving in. But it feels very far away from me as I go through some other games I'm playing. Switch 2 is going to get to me, I believe, on Saturday, knock on wood. I believe I'll be able to take it into my hospital visit next week, which is exciting. I'll play some Mario Kart. Yeah, going back to the state of play for one moment, I do want to also talk about the trailer from Grasshopper Manufacturer. It's a Suda game called Romeo is Dead Man. Actually, it's called Romeo is a Dead Man. But I don't think the graphics actually. I think it looks more like Romeo is Dead Man. I see what they did with you'll have to see it. We'll post you'll know what I mean. It's not very clear that it's Romeo is a Dead Man, but it was a very, very, very weird trailer, very off-putting. A lot of weird chaos. It's kind of almost like rotoscoped squiggly vision animation style to begin the trailer that kind of made everyone kind of motion sick. Then it went into this kind of grotesque, like, anime style visual, and then it just turned into a very like kind of normal looking video game, honestly. But everyone kind of tabbed it for a Suda 51 game pretty quick once the actual gameplay started, because it looked a lot like No More Heroes. But yeah, that was kind of an interesting trailer. If you want to kind of get motion sick, that's something you can certainly do. Michael Hyam!
Are you live?
No, we're not live, but we are recording.
Oh, you're recording?
Yeah.
Can I say something crazy?
Yeah.
I love you.
Ah, I love you.
I gotta go meet someone's husband.
Okay.
And mine, right here.
Okay. It's good turnout. Michael's hair is getting so luxurious. Oh my gosh. I can only aspire. I feel like Michael's hair grows quickly. I need to talk to him about that. I feel like it grows very quickly. I wonder if he uses like biotin or something, or if he's just naturally blessed. My guess is it's the latter. But if he does use something, I might be interested in using it. I might keep growing my hair. I've decided. As I was in Los Angeles this week, I was supposed to get a haircut from Michelle. Go to Michelle Cortinas over on Wilshire. If you want a great haircut, and if you don't mind getting your haircut from a Los Angeles Chargers fan, shout out to Michelle for giving great haircuts. It is a good turnout. I'm kind of shocked, actually. I texted Nikki right before the start. I was like, I hope you and the 3 people who show up get to take some of the food home. But it's been nice. It's been nice. I wish I could be there. But yeah, Wild. This weekend's going to be weird. I think if we're going to talk about more predictions, go listen to our predictions episode, VGBees.com/join. Final Fantasy tactics out of the way. I think because I know a lot of people are hype about it. I know I'm the one that's like weird and mad about it. But I think because it's such a straightforward, almost like mobile upscale remaster, which is like, kind of the easiest thing to do. I kind of think the Final Fantasy IX remake thing is going to get revealed. I don't know if it's going to be main stage. I don't know if it'll be at the Xbox show, but I feel like it's time. 25th anniversary, all that stuff. It might be time. I would love that. I still stand behind the fact that we might get a name reveal and nothing else for the next Indiana Jones adventure. I think now that we've seen a fight stick from Microsoft, I think getting that Elite 3 is a lock. So yeah, some of those predictions we made, go listen to the full episode. There are some definitely funny ones that I won't even mention here because they're just really fucking funny. But yeah, we'll see. We will see. Tomorrow, Friday, as we're recording this, the episode may go up roughly at the same time. I'm expecting it to be better than last year. I feel like last year's was very underwhelming. I feel like Jeff has got maybe a little bit something to prove. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he feels like he's just got it in the bag. I don't know. But we'll see. We know we're going to see some bullshit celebrity cameos. But I think we'll see a couple games that were like actually pretty cool and surprising. Which I'm excited about. And the Microsoft showcase will be great. Please watch the Southeast Asian Games showcase. That's on Saturday. Oh, you know what? You know what's funny is that now we got a couple of emails back, invoices, things like that from the venue. I want to also state very clearly, that was a good venue. They were easy to work with. They charged us no money to actually to reserve the venue. The food's the only thing that costs any money. Obviously, we didn't pay for the drinks either. Everyone's paying for the drinks. Are you kidding me? I'm not that rich. Y'all haven't supported us that well. I'm just kidding. But yeah, they've been really, really nice. But we did get a couple back and forths. And it did say Games Industry Mixer. And I genuinely thought that was just kind of what they were internally calling it, for their own logistics. But no, I guess that's just kind of what they printed on all of the collateral that's on the tables. You know what? You live, you learn. We'll do the same thing next year, and we'll learn all these lessons. So yeah, water under the bridge. I'm half wondering if I should call it, because I don't know if I want to stay on for another full hour. Because that's about how long the mixer is going to go. I can feel myself running out of gas. Part of that is the pills that I'm on. Part of that's that it's just late. Part of it's that, a solo. I'm not Jeff Gerstmann. I can't talk to myself for 3 hours. I'm not a superstar like Jeff. I can't do it. And I've kind of run out of stuff to talk about, I feel like. At least from a you know what? No, fucking I found it. I found it, y'all. Andor. I had watched about 3 episodes of that show when it came out, and then dropped off of it, and now, it's like the second season came out and everyone's like, this is the best show ever. I blew through the first season this past week, spending a lot of time in bed. And there's ravioli behind us. Or maybe I should get ravioli. Here, hold on a second. For all the YouTube viewers on this week's episode, you're about to get a big treat. a big ravioli treat. Talk amongst yourselves for a second. Buddy. Here we are. All right, the ravioli boy is here. So I have been watching Andor. I blew through the first season. I'm starting the second season. I'm like 3 or 4 episodes in. That show's a miracle. And I just like, it's a miracle in quality, sure. Like, it's so good. It's really, really good. But like, the fact that it exists, the fact that they spent so much money, an irresponsible amount of money. Moises and Michael Heim just gave me the bird, so I was giving one back to them. It's just an irresponsible amount of money. Is Nikki on a microphone? No, Nikki's not on mic. I thought Nikki was on mic for a second. An irresponsible amount of money on Tony Gilroy's show, Andor. That is itself a prequel to a movie that I think is pretty good, but it's not as good as you remember. It's a miracle. There's no way that happens. All the other Star Wars properties on TV, quote unquote, on Disney Plus, are not very good. Sorry. They're always just kind of, I don't know, varying degrees of slop. Like The Mandalorian's like good slop, but the rest of it's pretty bad. And to me, Andor is not just good for a Star Wars show, but it's got really killer sensibilities. Gilroy's sense of creating tension between its characters is just so unbelievably well formed. There's a lot of Michael Clayton in Andor, which is just an absurd thing to say. But it's completely true, and how welcome it is. I absolutely love the performances of the show. I think everyone that plays a sniveling little creep is perfectly cast as a sniveling little creep. I think God, what is her name? Denise Gao, that's her name. Playing Miro, the creepy Imperial officer that's kind of, like a total goody-goody two-shoes perfectionist that actually is the most competent person in the Empire, it feels like. So good for that role. There's a scene in the second season where she's holding up an outfit to try on to try to impress her boyfriend, who is also a creep, Cyril, his mother, and she does this smile, and like, it's such an easy scene, right? It's like, here, hold on, I'm gonna hold up ravioli for everyone and then put him down low. Look at this little guy. Look at this little guy. What an angel. I'm just so happy I got this guy. Look at him. He's so sweet. Kind of hoping Michael Hyam will notice that I'm holding up ravioli. But he's just so sweet. And he's a sleepy guy too. Oh my goodness. Ravioli turned 2 back in the middle of May. And we weren't here to celebrate. So we have to throw a little party for this guy. But like, there's a scene where like you can play it so easy, the smile and realizing that it doesn't suit you and all that stuff, but for whatever reason, just because the performances, the direction, the writing, and the character development is just so strong on that show. It's just such a funny moment. I think one of my favorite performances is Genevieve O'Reilly, who plays Mon Mothma. I think she just an outstanding piece of acting of just a politician who is kind of like centrist, dim coded, known for being kind of a witless and meaningless cog in a system, but secretly funding a lot of this rebel activity and controlling a lot of it. I think she does such a great job of veering in and out of those lanes. It's awesome. Like if you are on the fence or you've heard all of this, but you're like, yeah, I don't really believe that there's no way it can be that good. Give it a shot. You will absolutely like mow through what's there. Like I think I'll probably finish out the second season tomorrow or the next day, depending on how busy I get. Gosh, like every superlative from every respected critic, I feel deeply for this show. What a miracle. Astonishing that 2025 Disney would give the kind of resources that they gave to this show. Wait. What?
On the come up.
It's on the come up. Hey, Nikki.
VGBees.com. Every other sentence.
So you got introduce yourselves. Like, I'm VGBees.com/join. If I don't
This is audio poison. Sorry, guys. Hold on one second. Hey, Nikki.
John, this game is really good.
Hi, yeah. Hey.
He is within one.
Do you know
within one?
I've run out of stuff to talk about.
Oh, okay. Do you want to turn it off?
I'm probably going to turn it off.
Okay. Goodbye, John.
This has been really fun. Thank you for setting it up.
Welcome.
This has been a lot of fun. Bye. All right. I've removed Nikki from the program. And yeah, we're going to wrap up here. This has been so much fun. Thank you so much for hanging out. Oh, someone's coming up. No, you just missed it. Thanks so much for hanging out on this one. It's a weird one. We're going to do some more episodes that are a little more normal during SGF and all that stuff. So like the audio quality will be better and not just, a loud open room and then me talking to myself. I promise. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. We'll put this on the main feed. Why not? We talked about some SGF stuff. You got some cameos from some of the coolest people in the games industry. I want to thank Michael Hive. I want to thank Eric Van Allen. I want to thank Moises Tavares. I want to thank Diego Arguello, Taylor Hicklin, Kenneth Shepard, Michael Hive. I already said that. Nikki, of course. Just so many lovely people that are at the party. I wish I was there with all of them hanging out and into the night. But I'm not. But yeah, as Michael Hive was saying, VGBees.com/join. You can join the Hive. We're gonna do it up again this time next year. It'll be our second birthday. And I just want to say, yeah, I haven't reflected that much on the fact that this is our kind of our first birthday celebration because we launched at SGF last year. I just want to say thanks. Like a lot of y'all have been here from the very beginning, really from Fanbyte. Like you knew I was building this thing as Fanbyte was disintegrating, and I wanted to do something in games media after taking kind of a year off. And this is what it is. It's not perfect. I do want to increase our budgets and increase our available money to pay Nikki. Less worried about myself now. I've got kind of job security, which is nice. But definitely Nikki, like I'd love to pay Nikki as a full-timer to just work on this stuff instead of just like ad hoc every time they do something for the brand. So like think about that. If you really like Nikki, like if you like me, great. There are plenty of people like me. That's great. But if you like Nikki, which is like, of course you like Nikki. I'd love to make this the thing that I can pay Nikki to do full time. So VGBees.com/join, your best way to do that. We are totally listener and reader supported. We do not accept sponsorships or ads. We're gonna remain that way, especially on the website. And it's just important. I want everything to be available to the general public. I don't want to put everything behind a paywall. It's a big ask. If you get everything for free, What's the incentive? Well, you do get some bonuses, you do get some special access to stuff, but we do still want to keep the vast majority of everything we do here available to the public, and your support is just the thing that helps us pay for all of that stuff. It helps pay for that party that you just saw and are welcome to attend next year. And yeah. So VGBees.com/join. This has been a really fun year of shows, of stuff on the website, of coverage opportunities that, we actually frankly didn't get at Fanbyte in a lot of ways, which is really interesting. So this has been a really fun first year, and hoping for a very fun second year. So if you like what we do, tell your friends about it. I'm going to check reviews. Let's see. Let's do iTunes. No, iTunes, Apple Podcasts. Let's check the US site. Let's see if there's okay. Talamat313, Buzz, listen to the show, 5-star review. Thank you so much. Listened for the first time with Gersman joining and had no idea that young person from the Giant Bomb had a podcast. So much fun listening all the episodes. Y'all are weird and fun. I love VGBees. Wow, that's really nice. Thanks. I love that. I'm going to check 2 more offshoots, and it looks like that is the only new review we have. And it is true. That's the only new one that we have, but that was a good one. If you want to leave a 5-star review with a text review attached, I will read it on the show. Your reviews do help us get algorithmically sorted and all of that stuff. We didn't do Hive questions on this show because I knew the audio was going to be total shit show. And I just didn't plan ahead very well. I've got a lot going on, folks. Sorry. But we will do those probably on a weekend show for SGF, maybe an SGF wrap up. So if you're sitting here going, well, we didn't ask for Hive questions, you're right. And I should have, because then we could have padded the time, could have answered those questions, could have asked some of those people those questions. Listen, again, I'm not perfect. You're not supporting perfection. Not even close. But we will do the Hive questions over the weekend. And those should be good. I'm sure a lot of people have questions about SGF stuff and all of that. So when we get a new episode together with those thoughts, we'll do them then. All right, folks, let's get out of here. Been doing this for a little while. And until next time, let's keep on buzzing. How about it?